Hello everybody, I'm Chris Williams and welcome to my video blog for Thursday, September the 2nd, 2010. First of all, apologies if you tried to see my September the 1st video blog on the evening of September the 1st, 2010. YouTube said that it had stopped accepting WMV files all of a sudden, which was rather strange, but I posted 299 video blogs before then in that format, but as I say, it suddenly rejected that format, so I reloaded it this morning, September the 2nd, 2010, and it accepted it. So I hope there'll be no problems for you accessing this video. After my opening scenes, an advert for my sister's sticker business. If I don't include that, she'll beat me up, even though I'm 100 miles east of where she is at the moment. After those two things, I'll be talking about today's topic, which is Stephen Hawking's opinion that God doesn't exist. I think he's wrong, and I'll explain why in a moment, so stick with me. So yes, I studied astrophysics in university. I went to be an astrophysicist, but I found in university that practically all scientific people are atheists. They doubt the existence of God, and they put forward various reasons why God doesn't exist. And of course, you know of Richard Dawkins, the biologist, who says that God doesn't exist. Because Darwinism, that also shoots down creationism these days in the academic environments. So Stephen Hawking's comments in his new book, whose name I have forgotten, but I understand it's coming out a week today, September the 9th, 2010, I believe. I won't be buying that book myself because he says that M-brain theory and the existence of exoplanets around other stars in the universe, in the galaxy, actually. Yeah, in the galaxy rather than the universe, but you know what I mean. He says it's evidence that God doesn't exist, that God was not responsible for the Big Bang, and that gravity meant that there's a constant state of collapse, bang, that sort of thing. Well, I think that at the end of the day, there is a God who is responsible for the existence of everything in the universe. Like, if I were to say to you, like, this computer that I'm filming this video blog on, well, the webcam that I'm filming it with, and the computer I'm gonna install it onto, who created them? Well, clearly the answer is man. Who created these oven gloves? Man created the oven gloves. Who created this chair, which I sit on to record my video blogs? Well, man created that. Who created my USB flash drive? Man. But who created me? My parents. Who created my parents? Their parents, because you take it back, and of course the first people to exist, and the apes and the fish and the cats and so on, who created the first ones of them? I know that there are some inconsistencies in the Bible which lead to people saying, the Bible is nonsense, because I think it's just alternative translation. I agree that the earth was not created in 7... No, I get myself confused now. Yeah, it was the earth rather than the... whatever was created within 7 days. I call myself a Catholic, I should know these things, but whatever was created within 7 days... No, evidence implies it was a few billion years, but I think it's alternative translation. What the Bible says is a few days might actually mean billions of years. And as I said previously on a past YouTube video, these biblical people who died when they were 900 years old, divide 900 years by 12 full moons, and you get a sensible age. I'm not going to do the maths now, but I know it's somewhere short of 100 and definitely somewhere above 50. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. I am confident that there is a God who exists. Now, clearly, a lot of what you see, a lot of the material objects you see in the world these days were made by man, and it makes it very difficult for you to see what God created. But I think God created the grass, God created the sea, God created the volcanoes and the earthquakes and the weather. Simon Cowell didn't create these. Bill Gates didn't create these. Sir Alan Sugar didn't create these. Like, these days you can become a pop star if Simon Cowell makes you into a pop star. But at the end of the day, it was God who made you as a human being, and it is God who you should worship rather than people like Simon Cowell, who can make you big and famous and wealthy. I, as an astrophysics student, I feel I must mention some of the astrophysics that Stephen Hawking cites with his opinion that God doesn't exist. Membrane theory, this idea that some dimensions of the universe are wrapped up into small loops to explain the multi-dimensions that we cannot possibly observe from the Earth. Well, I think they're just scratching I've forgotten the famous phrase. They're scratching at something. Maybe I should edit this part of the video, but maybe I'll keep it. But you know what I mean. They're clutching at straws. That's a better analogy in line with what I'm talking about. Now, they come up with, the cosmologists in particular, who I blame for this, they say that gravitational waves exist. They haven't found them yet. They're coming up with various interferometers to search for them. If they don't find them, then as far as I'm concerned, gravitational wave physics is dead. It means that they wasted their time pursuing a theory that doesn't exist. They say that gravitational waves should exist, but of course they haven't seen them, so that means they probably don't exist as yet. Right. What do I mean they don't exist as yet? No, they might have been emitted in the past, but we haven't detected them. It's all to do with if we are able to tune in to their sensitivities, but I think you'll get what I mean. If we have the right experimental settings where we think we should detect them, if we don't detect them, then that means they don't exist. Same with the Large Hadron Collider, looking for the Higgs boson. You could spend years looking for the Higgs boson and not find it, and from that you then conclude that it doesn't exist, and that then means that physics has been wasting its time looking for things, gravitational waves and the Higgs boson, which it turns out doesn't exist, and that then means you have to rip up the theories. It will undermine this membrane theory about where the hidden dimensions are, because you don't need the hidden dimensions if you have a coherent explanation about the expansion of the universe, because this brings in dark matter and other things. Dark matter, of course, a fudge factor, like the cosmological constant, thrown in by physicists to explain things that they can't explain. And I feel that added up, it leads to a load of nonsense. You might think that this video blog is a load of nonsense with me tending to stumble over what I'm talking about, but I hope you will get the gist of what I am saying. I am a Catholic and an astrophysics student. I know that we live in a world today where most people say, God doesn't exist. But they say that because man has become self-sufficient. Now, doctors can help people to live longer. Humans can create clones of animals and other examples whereby man is acting as God. But at the end of the day, it is God who has the power to destroy humans, and I think that God acts in a random statistical way. I could get on to my rather controversial opinion about where God was on September the 11th, but I don't think I'll include that in this book, because when I wrote it on my written blog some time ago, it upset a number of people, even though I think it was the truth. I think that the world is statistical, like God is responsible for statistics, and for things to happen, that might be dismissed as coincidences. I think it is God making sure that those factors happen one after the other, so that a big activity can be the outcome. So, whereas they say that life on Earth is unusual, given that there is no life on Mars or Venus, I think God deliberately wanted there to be life on Earth. Is there life on other planets and other stars? To be honest, I don't think so. But we can never be sure, and even if there is, I doubt they'll ever contact us here on Earth. What about Jesus, the Son of God? Well, what's to say that God didn't have more than one son? Because you might say that Jesus was a con man and that the Bible is nonsense. Because there's a lot of stories in the Bible, some of them might be out of context, but definitely the Bible brings a story of hope to the people, and many people have believed it throughout the centuries. And I think I know myself that Jesus and God and all the religious characters exist. But I'm sure you haven't tuned into this for a religious debate. You've tuned in for my opinions on Stephen Hawking's view that God doesn't exist because of the latest science theories, which I think are inaccurate. Okay, I hope I've given you food for thought. Do feel free to add your opinion on YouTube regarding what I've just said. I hope you've got a YouTube account. If you have, you can log in and type in your comments. And of course, you can visit musings.chrisboons.blogspot.com. You can find similar opinions in written form. The details are at the end of this video, along with ways in which you can find me on Twitter and Facebook. Okay, that's all for now. Do join me for my next video blog. I blog on a daily basis. But until next time, it's bye for now. Bye bye.